October is Women's History Month in Canada, a time to celebrate the incredible women whose achievements are building a better, more inclusive society. This year, the theme is Women Making History Now. In particular, we recognize those working on the front lines of the pandemic and those driving forward positive social change. The month is also an opportunity to honor the women of our past who made an impact in politics, the arts and sciences, and countless other fields. Here at York Regional Police, the Women in Leadership Internal Support Network is proud to commemorate Women's History Month. And one of the best ways to do that is by acknowledging all the female leaders that came before us. Joy Dennison was the first female police officer to take her oath with YRP in January of 1975. But even then, frontline policing was not considered a place for women. Along with her badge, Joy was issued a skirt, a derby-style hat, and a purse for her firearm. She was assigned to the Youth Bureau, and it took a full 2 years until she was transferred to uniform patrol.
Policing 50 years ago looked a lot different than it does today, especially for women. Now we have female canine handlers, forensic identification officers, drug experts, undercover officers, civilian managers, and sworn commanders. And we have our first ever female deputy chief of police. As part of Women's History Month, the Women in Leadership Internal Support Network will mark International Day of the Girl Child on October 11th, which raises awareness of gender inequality faced by girls worldwide based on their gender. This year, we'll dedicate the day to Malala Yousafzai, a Pakistani activist for female education and the youngest Nobel Prize laureate. We will also celebrate Persons Day on October 18th, which marks the day in 1929 when the historic decision to include women in the legal definition of persons was handed down by Canada's highest court of appeal. While this milestone didn't actually include all women, namely racialized and Indigenous, it did mark important progress in the advancement of gender equality in our country. Prior to 1929, gatherings known as pink teas were held as a subversive way for women to gather and discuss politics and social issues. This year, we will also host our version of a pink tea. We ask all our members, will you buy a tea or coffee for a woman who inspires you? In doing so, we pay tribute to the women past and present who advocate for pay equity, racial equality, 2S LGBTQ+ rights and justice for missing and murdered Indigenous women. Thank you for your continued support, and we look forward to celebrating Women's History Month together.